Harry meanwhile still receives police protection on his infrequent visits to the UK on a case-by-case basis, and it would be a waste of taxpayers' money to have a 24/7 security team on permanent standby to cater for occasional visits. He is now also having stepped down from all his patronages because he's a non-working royal no longer in the day-to-day public eye, not performing any engagements. Also, Meghan winding down the window of their vehicle on her last visit against security advice was stupid beyond belief. Most other royals receive little or no police protection. It comes across as the establishment punishing Harry, yet again, for breaking away from the firm and sharing his experiences publicly. Omid spreading lies again. Harry lost his security when he quit the job. It was made clear to him he would lose his taxpayer-funded security. Nevertheless, Harry and Meghan decided to proceed and leave the job, nothing to do with punishing them for sharing his experience publicly. Still peddling this whole security pity story through her mouthpiece Omid. Money must be running low in the house of Montecito. Meghan probably told me no more expensive clothes and private jets, because the money needs to go for their security. Cruel was doing the Oprah interview while Prince Philip, Harry's granddad, was lying on his deathbed. That was cruel. The author told The Telegraph, "Now I'm afraid, appearing on Oprah Winfrey was worse than a crime, it was a mistake. I just wish vainly she'd shut up. And Prince Harry, and Prince Andrew, I'd like to see another photograph by the Duchess of Cambridge rather than read another thing about Prince Harry." As Prince Philip said at the time, no good will come from this interview. How right he was, and what a lasting memory to give your grandfather just before he died, nasty little spoiled brat. Mr. Scobie, in the article, went on to claim, despite what you may have read in certain newspapers, he has never actually asked for public or government to cover security costs. That's not the issue, though, is it? Our police force is not, and never has been, for sale. Harry well knows this. If he was to be granted police security and pay for it, it would open the floodgates for every other celebrity in the world. Twitter user @YayaMatildum said, "That interview was as will always be successful because you all still talking about it. Well done, Princess Meghan and Prince Harry. And they haven't even said 1% of what really happened behind closed doors, it was worse." User @Kenneth80376479 told Lady Fraser to leave them alone, and to stop interfering with other people's lives. User @EchoSima also suggested Lady Fraser is mad because Oprah was chosen for that exclusive interview, not her. Harry chose to stand down, and get away from the toxic palace. He gave up his job with it went the perks. Andrew is living in Windsor Great Park when a man with principles would be ashamed moved to the backwoods. Both were a blot on the monarchy, but the Sussex chose to resign, the latter won't go. Ah, yet more anonymous Sugar all upset. Nothing more fun than Sugar's heads exploding when someone dares call their lying idol out. So comical. However, Lil @YayaMatildum was right when it said, that interview was as will always be successful, because you all still talking about it. It was successful little, it was successful in showing the world that migraine her lapdog are nothing but liars. On that note, the interview was very, very successful. Andrew gets 24/7 police protection because he lives permanently here in the UK within the grounds of Windsor Castle. No doubt because of his previous litigation settlement of his case in the USA, he is vulnerable to intrusions into his privacy by undesirables, so hence the continued protection. This woman is not Princess Meghan. Why do these uneducated Americans seem to think that this is her title? Catherine is not Princess Catherine, Sophie is not Princess Sophie, Sarah is not Princess Sarah. Only blood relations, such as Princess Anne, Beatrice, Eugenie, Charlotte, and Alexandra have this title before their Christian names. The others, if they use this title, have their husbands' names, i.e. Princess Michael of Kent, so Meghan would be Princess Henry of Wales. Honestly, can nobody in the US understand this? Nobody had heard of this strange little man. Scobie before the Harkless. He didn't even write his book by himself. You would have thought HM could have found a better mouthpiece with more credibility than this person. Even his appearance reliant on Botox and other cosmetic enhancements simply establishes his fakery. It appears the Sugars have again been advised to compare has-been with Andrew. Meghan's tame mutt Scooby-Doo states it seems cruel in the extreme to allow Prince Andrew round-the-clock police protection, but not a future king's son. The current Queen's son did not voluntarily give up his role, it's not in his nature. He resides in the UK, not the US, on the Great Windsor Park, which comes with security anyway. Given the Sussex squad has been deflecting by using Andrew, it would appear he has been targeted, for cancel if nothing else. The lynch mob at the palace probably accounts for the decision to provide security. After all, he is known to regularly visit his mom, having nothing better to do. Unlike has-been, who sold his loyalty for the US, he has no visible income and cannot afford to pay for protection. If Scooby cannot make the argument purely on merit from Harry Bin point of view, he should just butt out. Oh, and Scooby, nobody is interested in reading your new book. Think if the environment, save the trees. Shush you silly person Scooby, give it rest, the more you say it the sillier you sound. They left their job, they left the UK, and they are not entitled to public financial support. He is the Queen's grandson and the other grandchildren are not given security unless they are performing a royal function. Anne and Edward don't have full-time security and they are far more senior than Harry. The avaricious duo set off with an entourage of security, which they didn't need, which they were paying for themselves, all about optics for wife to feel important. Now they can't afford the security and that is their problem, no one else's, only theirs. If they had behaved in a different manner to the RF, it would be the RF's choice to support them, but it is not for the public to financially support the dull duo's vanity security in the US. Apart from the fact that Omid Scobie is not a royal expert, but an employee of Harry, paid to write Harry's biography and probably more like a work of total fiction. They were cruel in the extreme to Her Majesty when H condoned what that viper mouthpiece of his outright lied to Al, whilst Prince Philip lay on his deathbed. Unforgivable. Scooby a royal expert? Ex-royals a **** liquor more like. The handbag was told beforehand exactly what his security status would be if he flounced off to the US. He gets protection on a case-by-case basis, the same as other non-working royals. He was too dumb, and too obsessed with his floozy, to realize what that meant. Now he needs to come here regularly to merch for Netflix and wants a large entourage bristling with guns to make him look important. He also wants international protected person status for when he visits other countries. Naffworth handbag, you now live in one of the most dangerous countries on earth, and your floozy felt safe enough here to roll down the bulletproof window so she could leer at the British plebs. I dearly hope that the court takes due notice of all this when deciding not to give in to your demands. So a handful of Twitter posts, probably Omid aliases, supporting Harry and Meghan's security case against thousands and thousands of messages in the past few days against allowing Harry and Meghan's taxpayers' security to be reinstated after they quit their job. Omid, Harry, and Meghan, you have no case here, you and your Sussex squat fan base are outnumbered. In the court of public opinion, you are toast. That interview was successful in showing the world what a lying, deceitful, hateful, slanderous Madam Meg is. Yes, sure. Saved the royals the grief of trying to tell the world with dignity the woman's a nutter. You only get one chance to tell your story and fortunately, Ginger Whinger again blew it by being a proven liar by anti-Oprah. So no matter what drivel is in his next comic, nobody will believe it. Poor old Sussex squad. First they think there is a Princess Meghan and secondly, the Oprah interview was justified. There's no helping some people, they should join HM at a nice, quiet retreat somewhere and give their brain cells a rest.